श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare Ram, Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chant and be.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. We're going to start with our opening. Go ahead, please. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and welcome everyone to Wednesday night, Chaitanya Charitamrita reading and discussion, and a lot of other interesting segments to our program that we have been evolving over the last so many years. And we're including, as you know, 2 Prabhupada lectures in the program and 2 sessions of japa. And we've added a new section. We're going to move to that right now, the Prabhupada Shotram. And this was something that Yashodanandana Prabhu was personally instructed on to teach others the special chants. So roll that section now, please.
Srila Prabhupada Stotram. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatharine Krishna Kacheta Madamoha Vinachakarin Madrishti Gochara Prabhupada Swamin Dosha Vivritti Paridushita Manda Buddhe Tanchintayami Charano Tava Bhakti Etu Vrindavane Ramanareti Prasiddha Bhumau Tatrapi Krishna Balarama Supada Mule Jnanam param parama Krishna sudharma ityuktam Dantastu deva Prabhupada namo namaste 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 kripa purna drishti Namaste namaste mahananda dhatri Namamu namama punaraksha raksha Prasiddha Prabhupahimam daksha daksha Bhakti Siddhanta Shishyaya Bhakti Vedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Vanga Bhumijana Bhushana Ghora Leela Ghoranga Baba Parisharana Matra Shila Radha Mukunda Pada Padma Manovilasin Anandarashi Prabhupada Namo Namaste Anandarashi Prabhupada Namo Namaste Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Priyadvaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I wanted to further announce that we'll be having a special event on November 15th, Prabhupada's Disappearance Day, and we have some guest speakers that day. So if you're interested in participating, please reach out to us. We're always anxious to have people step up and render service when they can. 2, as you know, we have a campaign for selling, not only selling books, but getting people that are interested in spiritual life to buy the Delhi Bhagavatams and study them and get an understanding of this philosophy from Srila Prabhupada in his Vani incarnation. Remember, these books were printed prior to Prabhupada establishing the ISKCON movement in 1976. So there's a special Shakti in them because they're unedited, they're unadulterated, they're unchanged by anyone who thought they were empowered to do that. No. And that's, when you look at our opening slideshow, you can see that's an emphasis. And it's surprising. Yashodanandana, it's very surprising that we promote this to our God brothers, many of them, and they can't seem to figure it out. I don't know what it is. It's like, for example, Ram Raghava. We've invited some prominent Prabhupada disciples from the early years to attend this, may I use the word non-sectarian celebration. I know that's something that was been brought up at our program a few weeks ago. Non-sectarian. What is it? Why is it non-sectarian? We're not saying you have to be a supporter of this guru or this system or that system. All we're asking people to do is celebrate Prabhupada's disappearance day with us by giving pastimes that they may personally have had with him in tribute to his greatness. Huh? Well, that's not controversial, but it's confusing for people. Why? I've been thinking about this, Yashoda. Because nowadays, now Prabhupada called one term that he used for democracy is demon crazy. Demon crazy. Democracy. It's a very colorful description of the way things are going in the Kali Yuga. Demon crazy. And another term that I thought might be, instead of democracy, it's a hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. And that's going on. Democracy is not democratic, it's hypocritical. I just wanted to point this out for everyone. Nowadays, there are people that the democratic system is, and I studied political science at university. It was one of my majors. But the point was, democracy is hypocrisy because now in democratic countries, all of a sudden people that are working for, let me say, a salary, they may get a salary of $200,000 or $300,000 or whatever the salaries are. But all of a sudden, they're political people, and all of a sudden they have $100 million in their bank account? How does that happen? How, when you make $300,000 a year, within a period of 8 years, all of a sudden you're worth $80 million? And by the way, it's not only in America, in Canada as well. The PM there, he was making a couple $100,000. Now I hear his net worth, after 8 years of hypocrisy, is now $80 million from public speaking. The guy was teaching grade 5 in acting. He was a kindergarten teacher, more or less. And all of a sudden now he's at $80 million, $90 million. This is proof it's hypocrisy. There's obviously a lot of bribery going on in those groups. People stealing money, taking money from hardworking citizens that are struggling to survive, and it's a tragedy. Therefore, instead of democracy, Prabhupada called it demon crazy. Not only demon crazy, they're ready to go to war. Oh yeah. And they're contriving all different ways and means to use their weapons in some kind of mass annihilation of humanity. They've done it in different ways. Demon crazy. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That's the business of the demon. Oh yes. Especially the fact, Garuda Prabhu, especially the fact that throughout, especially the capitalistic societies, they've grown industry based on the food, fast food religion, which is all centered around meat eating. Colossal bad karma. It's called collective karma, vikarma, collective bad karma. And this is going on, just like they're waiting in America for all these people to be arrested, all these leaders, so-called leaders from the past, for their hypocritical work, their rise to power, their wealth, their lying, their cheating, all of that is going on. This is Kali Yuga, not Krishna conscious world, but a world of demons and deviants. Demons and deviants from the purpose of human life, which Prabhupada so kindly revealed to all of us. And it is his mercy that all of us are engaged in his service, which is the real use of human energy. We have energy, we have wealth. And I wanted to mention a few of our members, and I wanted to congratulate them, are really, Ram Raghava, you can see it with the group, they're really stepping up and working on these programs that we are creating for us to spread the truth of Krishna consciousness according to Prabhupada's teachings and Lord Chaitanya, stepping up. And that is the secret of success in Bhakti Yoga. You do something. Oh, it's good to be a devotee, it's good to hear, but actions speak louder than words. And we want to commend all these people, Garuda, Prabhu, very much so, for all the campaigns, organization. We've got all kinds of new innovations. We have people that have been working for Microsoft and other big companies now working to become employees of Krishna. Do you like that, Garuda? You're an employee. You're an employee of Prabhupada and Krishna. You're not a PhD. PhD is plow department, Prabhupada said. I'm just joking, of course. I don't want to be disrespectful. But Prabhupada did say that. But real business is service to the spiritual master and to the truth. That is real service. And when people like all of us who are so talented, maybe not myself, but all of you, very talented people, when you come together with a unified focus, we can do amazing things, and I'm totally confident of that. Up here in Canada, I'm going to finish off and we'll go to our reading. Up in Canada here, there's a big hubbub with in the sports world. Oh yeah, it's a big hubbub because the Toronto Blue Jays, which is the local Canadian team, are competing in the World Series against Los Angeles. And in America, it's different than Europe or Asia or wherever you're attending these programs. Up here in this part of the world, it's a big deal. It's a big deal for everybody. But the one thing that you can see, and it was interesting, The announcer interviewed Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's a Spanish devotee. And it was after the excitement of the game. And so the interview goes, well, are you going to be ready for the World Series, Vlad? Now, he's Spanish, English, so he has to translate what he's going to say. And he spun around, and the audience was there, Yashoda. There was 44,000 people watching, screaming like crazy, going crazy, all these men and women and kids and everything. And he looked at the camera very seriously, and he goes, am I ready? I was born ready. And when he said that, I thought to myself, that is our response to why we're devotees. We were born to be Prabhupada's devotees. We were born for this. That's what we all have to realize, that we are born to do this. People ask me, well, how did this all work out for you? You know what I say to them? I have no idea. All I can say is, for Yashoda Nandana Prabhu and Rochisha Devi Dasi and Radharani Devi Dasi and Shrestha Rupa, all Bhaktaran Singh, Ram Raghava, think about it. You were born for this, Ram Raghava. This is your destiny, to go back to Godhead and rejoice with the Supreme Lord in his Sankirtan movement, Garuda, the Sankirtan movement of truth, based on Prabhupada's teachings, his Vani incarnation. Okay, that's all. And we're going to move forward with our next section of the program, and I think you'll like this, Garuda Prabhu. I've been going along, we've been reading different books for the last 3 or 4 years, as you know. The diaries 3 times. We read the diaries 3, maybe 4 times, because it's a fairly quick read. And we read A Nectar of Instruction, Easy Journey to Other Planets. And I was looking at these books, this Beyond Birth and Death, Garuda Prabhu, and the reason I'm reading it is because I was on the plane and the weight of carrying books, so I started reading these small books. And when I read it, I thought, gee, this book is terrific. What is it? It's simply, not simply in the sense of, it's simple, but it's Prabhupada lectures from 1966, transcribed and written down, and they form some book. There's different covers and this and that. I don't know how much it's been changed or edited, but nonetheless, I'm having faith that it's fairly closely edited. We may reproduce it in the future, maybe. And where are we, Ram Raghava? Are we where you were managing it on Sunday? Oh, okay, thank you. I get so into this. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded. So we'll keep on reading this lecture. Of the non-existent, there's no endurance. Of the existent, there is no cessation. These seers have concluded by studying the nature of both. Bhagavad Gita 2:16. That's chapter 2, verse 16. Real pleasure is Krishna, whereas material pleasure, which is temporary, is not actual. Those who can see things as they are do not take part in shadow pleasure. The real aim of human life is to attain that spiritual sky, but as Srimad Bhagavatam points out, most people do not know about it. Human life is meant to understand reality and to be transferred into it. All Vedic literatures instructs us not to remain in this darkness. The nature of the material world, this material world, is darkness, but the spiritual world is full of light and yet is not illumined by fire or electricity. Krishna hints of this, in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Natad bashyate suryo, sashanko napavakaha, yadgatva na nivartante, tadhama paramam mama. That abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by electricity, but who reaches it never returns to the material world. So 2 worlds, 15:6. The spiritual world is called unmanifested because it cannot be perceived by material senses. You have to be qualified. Byakto sharas iti yuktas tam ahu paramam gatim yam prapapya nav nivartante yadhama paramam mama. That supreme abode is called unmanifested and infallible, and it is the supreme destination. When one goes there, he never comes back. That is my supreme abode. Bhagavad Gita 8:21. That great journey is indicated in this verse. We have to be able to penetrate outer space, traverse the material universe, penetrate its coverings, and enter the spiritual sky. Paramam gatim, that journey is supreme. There is no question of going a few thousand miles away from this planet and then returning. This sort of journey is not very heroic. Very interesting word. We have to penetrate the whole material universe. This we can not do by spaceships, but by Krishna consciousness. We cannot by spaceships. It's very interesting, Yashoda. There's a lot coming up lately about the moon hoax and showing these so-called astronauts from America claiming they landed on the moon, and they're blatantly lying to the public back in 6. This we cannot do by spaceships, but by Krishna consciousness. One who is absorbed in Krishna consciousness and who at the time of death thinks of Krishna is at once transferred there. If we all want to go to that spiritual sky and cultivate eternal blissful life full of knowledge, we have to begin now to cultivate a Sat Chit Ananda body, eternity, bliss, and knowledge. It is said that Krishna has Sat Chit Ananda body, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha, and we also have a similar body of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. But it is very small and is covered by the dress of matter. If somehow or other we are able to give up this false dress, we can reach that spiritual kingdom. If once we can attain that spiritual world, return is not necessary. Yam prapatya na nivartante. Everyone then should try to go to that Dhamma Paramam, Krishna's supreme abode. Krishna himself comes to call us, and he gives us literatures as guidebooks and sends his bona fide representatives. Yeah, there's so many. And Prabhupada is the bona fide acharya for this time and place. We can explain that. We should take advantage of this facility given to human life for one who reaches that as supreme abode. Penances, austerities, yogic meditations, and so on are no longer required for one who does not reach it. All penances and austerities are a useless waste of time. The human form of life is an opportunity to get this boon, and it is the duty of the state, of the parents, the teachers, and guardians to elevate those who have acquired this human form of life to attain this perfection of life. Simply eating, sleeping, mating, and quarreling like cats and dogs is not civilization. We should properly utilize this human form of life and take advantage of this knowledge to prepare ourselves in Krishna consciousness, so that 24 hours a day we will be absorbed in Krishna, and at the death, at once transferred to the spiritual sky. Look how beautiful Prabhupada's explaining this, Rochisha, Devi. Purusha sa para parta bhaktya labhas nanya ya yasyantash shtani bhutani yena sarvan idam tatam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading, and everything is situated within him. Prabhupada here, this is Krishna saying, who is the greatest of all. You think you can associate with Krishna if you are not qualified? No. You have to be qualified. And the qualification is complete surrender. If we are at all interested in reaching that supreme abode, the process as indicated here is bhakti. Bhaktya means devotional service, and here it is. Submission to the Supreme Lord. The root word for bhakta is bhaj, which means service. The definition of bhakti, given in the Narada Pancharatna, is freedom from designation. If one is determined to get out of all the designations, if one is to get designations that are attached to the pure spiritual soul, which arise due to the body and are always changed when the body is changed, one can attain to bhakti. Bhakti is realizing that one is spirit and not matter at all. A real identity is not this body, which is simply a covering of the spirit, but our real identity is dasa, servant of Krishna. That's a true identity. When one is situated in his real identity and is rendering service to Krishna, he is a bhakta. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam. When our senses are free from material designations, oh yes, we can utilize them in the service of the master of the senses, or Rishikesha, or Krishna. As Rupa Goswami points out, we have to serve Krishna favorably. Generally, we want to serve God for some material purpose of gain. We know that, Yashoda, many people like that. Of course, one who goes to God for material gain is better than one who never goes. Give us this day our daily bread, Prabhupada says. Better that than not. Our aim should be to understand Krishna. Of course, Krishna is unlimited and it is not possible to understand him. Not possible. That's so true. But we have to accept what we can understand. Bhagavad Gita is specifically presented for our understanding. I was telling a devotee I've been preaching to for a few years. Sometime in your life, you have to have faith in the words of Krishna and Guru. You cannot just speculate. You just simply have to believe, accept it, because you're insignificant nobody. Through receiving knowledge in this way, we should know that Krishna is pleased and we should serve him favorably according to his pleasure. Complete faith. Not logic, faith. It's much different. Krishna consciousness is a great science with immense literatures, and we should utilize them for the attainment of bhakti. Purusha sa paraha, in the spiritual sky, the Supreme Lord is present as the Supreme Person. There are innumerable self-illuminous planets there. And in each one of them, one expansion of Krishna resides. They are four-armed and have innumerable names. They are all persons. They are not impersonal. These purushas, or persons, can be approached by bhakti, not by challenge, philosophical speculation, or mental concoctions, or by physical exercises, but by devotion without the deviations of fruit, of activities. What is the Purusha? The Supreme Person, like Yashyant Tat Tashtani Bhutani Yena Sarvam Idam Tatam. Every living entity and everything is within him, and he is without all pervading. How is that? He is just like the sun, which is situated in one place, yet is present all over by its rays, although God is situated in his Dhamma Paramam, supreme abode. His energies are distributed everywhere, nor is he different from his energies inasmuch as the sunshine and the sun are non-different. Since Krishna and his energies are non-different, we can see Krishna everywhere if we are advanced in devotional service. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Valochanena Santasa Deva Hridayeshur Valokayanti. I worship the original personality of Godhead, whom the pure devotees, whose eyes are smeared with the ointment of love of Godhead, always observe within their hearts. And that's from Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, verse 38. Those who are filled with love of God can see God constantly before them. It is not that we saw God yesterday night and he is no longer present. No. For one who is Krishna conscious, Krishna is always present and can be perceived constantly. We simply have to develop the eyes to see him due to material bondage, the covering of the material senses. We cannot understand what is spiritual, but this ignorance can be removed by the process of chanting Hare Krishna. How is this? A sleeping man may be awakened by sound vibration. Although a man may be, for all intents and purposes, unconscious, he cannot see, feel, smell, etc. The sense of hearing is so prominent that a sleeping man may be awakened just by sound vibration. Similarly, the spirit soul, now overpowered by the sleep of material contact, true, we're asleep in this world, can be revived by this transcendental sound vibration. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Don't be shy, chant along. Hare Krishna is simply an address to the Supreme Lord and his energies. Hare means energy and Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So when we chant Hare Krishna, we are saying, "O energy of the Lord, O Lord, please accept me." We have no other prayer for acceptance but by the Lord. There is no question of praying for daily bread like the Christians do. For the bread is always there. Hare Krishna is but an address to the Supreme Lord, requesting him to accept us. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prayed, Aya Nanda Nuchana Kirtanam Patitam Vam Visham Bhavam Buddha Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Stiti Dula Shridisham Vichintaya, O son of Maharaj, Nanda, I am your eternal servitor, and although I am so somehow or other, I've fallen in the ocean of birth and death. Please, therefore, pick me up from this ocean of death and fix me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Shikshastakam, fifth verse. How much more have we got? How much more? We're gonna end for now. So thank you, everyone, for. This is a long lecture. It's a long lecture. It's a very interesting look at the summary of our philosophy. We're going to move ahead with our next section of the program, Garuda Prabhu, and it is Prabhupada speaking to us personally. So please, everyone, listen carefully. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Vandeham
We're having a little trouble with the connection. Let him try again, everyone. Be patient. This is going to work out. The internet, sometimes it doesn't cooperate, like a lot of people. She's not cooperating. Try once again, Rama. Are you in a hotel room somewhere? I think he's on the road.
No, not today. That'll be next week. I think
Oh,
there's
sorry.
poor connection today.
America.
If you can give me a couple of minutes, please, I'll try something.
Okay, what we're going to do is we'll move forward. We'll insert it while you're working. But let's go ahead and play the Jayarada Madhava prayers, and we'll have our reading and discussion. Go ahead. After that, we'll show Prabhupada speaking.
Sai. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam namaskritya. Narayanam namaskritya. Naram cheva narottamam. Naram cheva narottamam. Devim saraswatim vyasam. Devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Tato jayam mudirayat. One should utter the means of conquest, Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, after offering respectful obeisances, 1, to the personality of Godhead Narayana, 2, to the Nara-Narayana Rishi, who is the supermost human being, 3, to the Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, then 4, to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Welcome everyone to this reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This reading is being conducted from the original non-adulterated version, the 1975 authorized version, and all synonyms, translations, and purports are from His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, also known as the Krishna Consciousness Movement. As we do every week, we will be reading a few selected verses from the Adilila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, explaining the meaning and the benefit of hearing this transcendental literature. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Glory to Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda. Glory to Advaita Chandra, and glory to all the devotees of Sri Gaura, Lord Chaitanya. Etin Thakur Gaudiya ke karye chena yatma sat. Etinera charana vandan tere morenat. These three deities of Vrindavana, Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinatha, have absorbed the heart and soul of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, followers of Lord Chaitanya. I worship their lotus feet, for they are the lords of my heart. Grantera Rambi Kari Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana. In the beginning of this narration, simply by remembering the spiritual master, the devotees of the Lord, and the personality of Godhead, I have invoked their benedictions. Tinera Smarane Vigna Vinashanam Anayasai Nijavanchita Puranam. Such remembrance destroys all difficulties and very easily enables one to fulfill his own desires. Se mangala charanai trivida prakar vastu nirdesha shirvada namaskara. The invocation involved three processes defining the objective, offering benedictions, and offering obeisances. We will proceed with our verse for today. We are reading from Adi Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Adi Lila, chapter 6, text 24. Ishwarera anga sachidanandamai mayara sambana nahi ishlokakai. Ishwarera, of the Lord, anga, limb, amsha, part, chidanandamaya, all spiritual, mayara, of the material energy, sambandha, relationship, nahi, there is not, eshloke, this verse, kaya, says. Translation. This verse describes that the limbs and plenary portions of the Lord are all spiritual. They have no relationship with the material energy. Text 25. Amsha nakariyat kehe kahalange anga. Amsha ete anga yate aya antaranga. Amsha, part. Nakahiya, not saying. Kene, why? Kaha, you say. Tanre, him. Anga, limb. Amshahoete, then apart. Anga, limb. Yate, because. Hoya, is. Antaranga, more. Translation. Why has Sri Adwaita been called a limb and not a part? The reason is that limb implies greater intimacy. Text 26. Mahavishnura amsha advaita gunadham ishvareya vedantehi advaita purnanam. Mahavishnura, of Lord Mahavishnu, amsha, part, advaita, advaita acharya, gunadhama, reservoir of all attributes. Ishware, from the Lord. Abheda, non-different. Teni, therefore. Advaita, non-different. Purnanama, full name. Translation. Sri Advaita, who is a reservoir of virtues, is the main limb of Mahavishnu. His full name is Advaita, for he is identical in all respects with that Lord. Text 27. Purva yeche kaila sarva vishvera srijan avatari kaila ebe bhakti pravartan. Purve, formerly, yeche, as, kaila, perform, sarva, all, vishvera, of the universes, srijan, creation, avatari, taking incarnation, kaila, did, ebe, now, bhakti pravartana, inauguration of the bhakti cult. Translation. As he had formerly created all the universes, now he descended to introduce the path of bhakti. Text 28. Jivanashtarita Krishna bhakti karidan Gita Bhagavate Koela Bhakti Ravyakyan. Jiva, the living entities. Nistarila, delivered. Krishna Bhakti, devotional service to Lord Krishna. Kari, making. Dana, gift. Gita Bhagavate, in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, Kaila performed Bhaktira Vyakhyana, explanation of devotional service, translation. He delivered all living beings by offering the gift of Krishna Bhakti. He explained Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in the light of devotional service. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Although Sri Advaita Prabhu is an incarnation of Vishnu, for the welfare of the conditioned souls, he manifested himself as a servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And throughout all his activities, he showed himself to be an eternal servitor. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda also manifested the same principle, although they also belong to the category of Vishnu. If Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and Advaita Prabhu had exhibited their all-powerful Vishnu potencies within this material world, people would have become greater impersonalists, modest and self-worshippers than they had already become under the spell of this age. Therefore, the personality of Godhead and his different incarnations and forms played the parts of devotees to instruct the conditioned souls how to approach the transcendental stage of devotional service. Advaita Acharya especially intended to teach the conditioned souls about devotional service. The word Acharya means teacher. The special function of such a teacher is to make people Krishna conscious. A bona fide teacher following in the footsteps of Advaita Acharya has no other business than to spread the principles of Krishna consciousness all over the world. The real qualification of an Acharya is that he presents himself as a servant of the Supreme. Such a bona fide Acharya can never support the demoniac activities of atheistic men who present themselves as God. It is the main business of an Acharya to defy such impostors, imposing as God before the innocent public. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Bhakti Siddhanta Shishyaya Bhakti Vedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Gurave Namaha Bhagavad Vandana Kadhyam Guru Vandana Purvakam Kshiram Sharakara Yuktam Kadate Visheshataha Adadana Dante Ridam Yache Punaha Punaha Srimadrupa Padam Bhoja Dulishyam Janma Janmani Amsho Bhagavato Smyaham Sadadaso Asmi Sarvata Tat Kripa Pikshako Nityam Tat Prishta Sadkaromi Svam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The last purport that we saw deals with some very important points. Prabhupada is describing the business or the engagement of a bona fide Vaishnavacharya. As we have often discussed on this program, Prabhupada several times quoted a verse from the Padma Purana of a conversation between Lord Shiva and Parvati, his good wife. And Lord Shiva has told Parvati, Guravo Bahavo Shanti Shishyabhitapaharakaha, that there are many gurus who are very expert to take away the wealth or the money of the disciple. Durlabha Sadguru Devi Shishya Shantapaharakaha. But it's very rare to find a bona fide Sadguru, Vaishnava Guru, who will take away the miseries of the disciple. Now, the issue is very applicable in this age. In this age, there is a great proliferation of so-called gurus, pseudo-gurus, cheating gurus, bluffer gurus, and so many others who basically are acting against the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. In our Sampradaya, the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, we have also a phenomena of many persons who claim to be affiliated with the philosophy and the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but unfortunately who misuse the teachings for personal aggrandizement or personal motives. This is most regrettable. And a devotee, because sometimes people will ask, well, why is it that Vishwakarma and yourself keep talking about this point all the time? Other people also criticize that you people sound like Prabhupada fanatics. Well, we're not fanatics. We are here to discuss and understand Prabhupada's teachings in greater depth. Just like, for example, if you go to university, before you can become a PhD, there's different steps. You have to reach certain phases of study, certain phases of accomplishment, and go through a PhD thesis, which is reviewed by experts in the field. And then, depending on the quality of your work, you may be given a PhD. Similarly, in spiritual life, Prabhupada wanted devotees to be educated, not to be naive, not to be gullible. Very early on in 1970, as the movement was expanding and so many new devotees were coming, Prabhupada started to write letters to various leaders that now that we have so many devotees, we should train them more. Our task should be to train the devotees more and more. It's like boiling the milk to bring the cream. And Prabhupada made a statement to one leader, what is the use of so many devotees if none of them are knowledgeable? Now, this is a very important point, because every time there's a controversy, there will be so many different opinions. This opinion, that opinion, this group, that group. But the point is, we have to research. We have to submit our minds and our intelligence to understand the conclusions of the Acharya. The present Acharya is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. But some people object, as how can you say he's the present Acharya since he departed in 1977? The answer is simple. He's not dead and gone. If someone thinks the Acharya is dead and gone, he's never understood the teachings of the Acharya. He's never understood the philosophy. We've discussed this at considerable length in previous classes, previous readings and discussion. How Srila Prabhupada starts his Srimad Bhagavatam from this point. He lives forever by his divine instructions, and the follower lives with him. Prabhupada never talked about his guru being dead and gone. Unfortunately, there is a philosophy that insidiously crept or appeared in the society just after Prabhupada's non-manifested presence, with people preaching that now that Prabhupada is gone, it's not practical to accept him as the guru. Oh, really? What this shows that these people never understood the philosophy. Prabhupada very clearly says in the Madhya Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the story of the Kaliya, lake where one of his servants wanted to go and see Krishna. So many people were going to see Krishna, which turned out just to be the lamp of a fisherman on the lake. But they were attracted by the thought of, oh, we're going to go see Krishna. Prabhupada writes in one purport that it is very important for people who are eager to advance in Krishna consciousness to advance their understanding of the philosophy and practice of Krishna consciousness, this particular story. Prabhupada said, unless one is enlightened by the knowledge given by the spiritual master, he cannot see things as they are, even though he may remain constantly with the spiritual master, this living idea, this physicality idea. Interestingly, I was told one story by one of the leaders who joined the movement in 1966, how he had a conversation with Srila Prabhupada one night in Stockholm, Sweden, and Prabhupada was explaining why and how Krishna consciousness can be understood, and why he wrote these books. Prabhupada stated, physicality is for the fools. Prabhupada never based his whole movement and his books and his teachings on physicality. It's called the difference between Vani and Vapu. Unfortunately, the Vapuvad, body consciousness idea, is very strong with some people who thought, oh, I was with Prabhupada. I had morning walks with Prabhupada. I got so many letters from Prabhupada. I had such and such position in Prabhupada's organization or society. I know better than all of you rank and file devotees. Oh, really? Then how did you misunderstand Prabhupada's instructions and teachings so much? The first instruction was not to change his books, not to change his teachings, not to adulterate his teachings. I've told several times the story. In 1970, in July, I was in Los Angeles, and having been born in Canada from a French background, I still had a very hard time expressing myself in English. I'm not much better now, but a little bit better. So at that time, I had a conversation with one of Prabhupada's personal servants, where they were discussing about the idea of creating a GBC. So I asked this devotee, I said, well, you're with Prabhupada all the time. We know what a temple president should be, what a Sankirtan leader, the treasury, the secretary. What is the function of a GBC? And this devotee was explaining very nicely a very important point. He says, Prabhupada is concerned that in the future, after his departure, he does not want his teachings and his instruction to be changed in any way. That is why the main function of the GBC, according to this personal servant who was with Prabhupada in many intimate conversations, was to make sure that in the future, he did not want his teachings to be changed, to be adulterated. Does that ring a bell? He has seen the truth and they have seen the truth. Because Prabhupada knew. He knew the history of Sampradaya. Not just this Sampradaya, but every Sampradaya. How the tendency to deviate is very strong in the conditioned soul. Prabhupada did not want his books to be adulterated. I was told one time by one of the biggest book distributors in ISKCON that he was in Prabhupada's room in Los Angeles, and Srila Prabhupada took the Krishna book, and he told some of the devotees who were responsible for publishing and getting these books printed. He took the book, the front page of the book. He pointed out to the top of the page. He says, when you reprint this book, you should print from here. He turned back to the cover and he said, to here, and everything inside exactly the same. Now, this is a very important instruction. Did they follow that? Nope. They thought they knew better. Or they thought, oh, no, we're editors. We're not changing. We're just editing already. But when we look at your handiwork with more than 5,000 changes in the Bhagavad Gita, and we ask the fundamental question, where did Prabhupada say to go back to the manuscript to rewrite the book? No answer, because it doesn't exist. There's no evidence from Srila Prabhupada that he wanted his books to be changed in that way. Oh, we've all heard the explanation, oh, Prabhupada wanted that the book should be to the highest standard and correct the typographical mistakes. Well, how many typographical mistakes are there in the Bhagavad Gita? The 1962 Bhagavad Gita. Can somebody send me the list of these so-called mistakes? We have a comment from Prabhu, Guru to Prabhu, very few, if any. But the point is that Prabhupada was trying to establish a preaching mission. Now what we have is many of Prabhupada's books are no longer available. Many temples will not distribute the 1972 Macmillan Gita, and many titles are not even being reprinted. Every day I get communication from book distributors. Just this week, 2 book distributors in America asked me, do you have some books? Do you have this book available? Do you have that book available? I said, nope. Because this change disease is corrupting the whole essence of Prabhupada's work, of his society. He did not want these teachings to be adulterated by ambitious person with a political agenda. When you look what they have done with the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the page before the first chapter of the Adi Lila, where they changed that Jagannath Das Babaji initiated Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Why did they change it? When they were took to task by Dhira Govinda Prabhu, their explanation, well, this doesn't correspond to our understanding of initiation in ISKCON. Maybe you should reset the button and start researching Prabhupada's words. Every context, every statement that he's ever made about initiation, initiated, disciplic succession, spiritual master, because it's obvious that you haven't done the proper study. You cannot amend the words of the Acharya. Who are you? Who gave you that task of correcting the Acharya? What Prabhupada, you know the story, how one leader in Europe went to Srila Prabhupada and asked Srila Prabhupada, can you translate the books faster so we can get more distributed? And Prabhupada's reply is, you do not understand. These books are my devotional ecstasies. I had the good fortune at some point of watching at night while Prabhupada was translating. He had a very large book. It's almost 6 inches thick, with all the Sanskrit commentaries of the Acharya. And it's not ABCD translation. This is very deep realization of a self-realized soul. And sometimes he would remain silent while he was looking at the book. Because that's not just ABC translation, that's the dictation from Krishna through Srila Prabhupada. So those people who think they know better and they can change under the plea of grammatical correctness or editorial correctness, you better think twice. Thank you very much. Back to you in the studio. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Glories to Srila Prabhupada, and thank you very much for that detailed explanation about deviation from the orders of the spiritual master. And it's a very important part of getting the facility to purify yourself through transcendental sound, because our philosophy is based on Shravanam, Kirtanam, is based on chanting and is based on hearing. And we should be able to hear from the spiritual master, which we do on a daily basis, and that is the medicine that his disciples administer to their sick condition of life. We're so fallen. We need the medicine of transcendental sound to correct the mind. Just think about these people that don't do this. Not only do they do that, change everything. That's, Prabhupada called it the change disease. They also don't follow the process. Yes. And they commit many criminal activities. You know that, Yashoda. It's besides that. They're criminals. And that's serious. And movements throughout the world have been filled with hypocrites. So that's very unfortunate. We're going to move to our next section of, we'll try to get to some questions and answers, and we want Garuda to speak. We're going to have Prabhupada. We've got our computer program. We're going to get Living Guru after this. We're going to listen to a section from Srila Prabhupada preaching. Hare Krishna.
Guru Sri Juta Padakamalang. So, Manusyanam Sahasresu Kaschi Jatati Siddhaye Jatatam Api Siddhyanam Kaschi Vetimam Tattva. And here it is said, the Manusya Strishang Sastradhikara Jagyanang Sasmat. Now what I am, what is God, what is this material world, how it is working, these things are business of an educated man. A foolish man cannot think. Therefore, Shastradhikara. Shastra means one has got some knowledge in the Shastras, in the books of knowledge. As soon as we find out the one who has got books of knowledge, knowledge in books of Shastra, the quantity will be at once reduced. In this quarter, if you find out how many non-educated people are there, or you'll find many. And as soon as you want to find out how many MAs are there, at once the number will be reduced. Similarly, there are many men. But if you want to search out some man who is trying to make perfection of his life, at once the number will be reduced. And out of them, just like so many transcendentalists, samis, yogis there are, if you count amongst them who wants to understand God, who has got the knowledge of God, at once the number will be reduced. Okay. Therefore Krishna says that out of many, many thousands of people, somebody is interested for making perfection of his life, and out of many, many thousands of men who are actually trying to make perfection of their life, you will find somebody, or you may not find out, who knows God or Krishna. But Krishna is so kind that he comes himself to be known by everyone. And he is so kind also that before his departure from this material world, he leaves behind him this Bhagavad Gita, so that you can know from his personal talks what is God. So, if you read Bhagavad Gita rightly, as it is spoken by Krishna, not foolishly interpreting nonsensically, but as it is. Call the spade a spade. Krishna says that I am the Supreme Personality of God. Don't interpret this version with your foolish interpretation, but accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and by his acts, by his shastric knowledge, wisdom, everyone accepted previously, all the acharyas. So, we have to follow the footprints of the acharya. Mahajana jena gatasamantha. So we cannot understand higher things unless we follow the footprints of great personalities.
Just like even in the scientific world, the law of gravitation. You do not know anything about law of gravitation, but Sir Isaac Newton, he says that there is law of gravitation. He accepts. That's all. That means you follow a great personality. Similarly, Krishna should be accepted, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not by whims, but he has been accepted like by personalities like Lord Chaitanya, Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya, great personalities who are guiding the destiny of spiritual world. Therefore, you have to accept in that way.
Ram Raghava. That you have to accept a bona fide source. Prabhupada's stressing this. When he says Bhagavad Gita as it is presented by him, yes, by him, then we should not venture into changing any of the words for any purpose other than to repeat them exactly as best as we can as he spoke them. So Prabhupada wrote the Bhagavad Gita as it is for everyone's benefit. And we're going to read further. We're going to discuss briefly here Our Living Guru, which is a small booklet that discusses some of these issues and how to hear properly from the spiritual master without any change. Yashodanandana, Our Living Guru. Thank you.
Section number 3. Question. The Living Guru Project advocates maintain that Srila Prabhupada can no longer give us specific instructions or share loving exchanges with us. Is this true? Answer. Srila Prabhupada has a much different view. Quote, so my Guru Maharaj will be very, very much pleased upon you and bless you with all benefits. So he wanted this, and it is not that he's dead and gone. That is not spiritual understanding. He is seeing. I never feel that I'm alone. From a lecture, this from Atlanta, Georgia, on the appearance day of his Guru Maharaj, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur on March 2nd, 1975. Then again, Prabhupada says, I shall remain your personal guidance, physically present or not physically, as I am getting personal guidance from my Guru Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada to the late secretary, 14th of July, 1977. Srila Prabhupada, he lives forever by his divine instructions and the follower lives with him. Preface to Srila Prabhupada, 1962 Bhagavatam. Then we have a letter to Kurandar on the 13th of September, 1970. Yes, I am so glad that your center is doing so well and all the devotees are now appreciating the presence of their spiritual master by following his instructions, although he is no longer physically present. This is the right spirit. Prabhupada explains further. The service to the spiritual master is essential. If there is no chance to serve the spiritual master directly, a devotee should serve him by remembering his instructions. There is no difference between the spiritual master's instructions and the spiritual master himself. In the absence, therefore, his words of direction should be the pride of the disciple. From Adi Lila, Chapter 1, Text 35. Back to you in the studio. Hare Krishna.
Going to ask Garuda to speak on the comments, but he had to leave the program. Are you still here, Prabhu? I see your picture. Hope you're okay. At any rate, I wanted him to comment on some of the portion of the class on the authenticity of Prabhupada's words. Go ahead, because you're a big supporter of this. I know that. We're good friends, me and him, for a lifetime, I'd say, from 75. Go ahead before you fall over. Make a few points. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Look, audio.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. I was having trouble unmuting myself there. I think Rama
Yeah, that's all right.
Ramaji made
Go
it
ahead.
possible. Yeah. I mean, all these points are so good. I am under the weather, and that's why I canceled my university teaching this evening so I could. So I figured I'd treat myself to a treat by being with all of you. So my pranams to all. As usual, I always enjoy your comments and Yashodanandanaji's comments. And this, I mean, I could speak forever. I spent 8 years studying the BBT's utter transgressive behavior in relation to Prabhupada's books. Maybe the worst thing is, even if they were sincere and really trying to make Prabhupada's books look better, did they need to do that? No. But even if they were sincere, okay, but they lacked transparency. It's the dishonesty that really gets to me. And this has been the hardest thing, Vishwakarmaji, for me to deal with. It's not that we make mistakes. Prabhuji, I make mistakes all the time. I love making mistakes because I know that Krishna and my God brothers and God sisters will come along and, set me on the right path, and fine. The only real mistake is when we don't understand that there's a mistake. And we go on with a false sense of entitlement and privilege and pretend that there are no mistakes when there are just blatant errors in the whole process. And this is, I have to say, Vishwakarmaji, I mean, I put all my publications with Columbia University Press and Oxford University Press and Yale University Press, all these books I put on hold for 7 years to focus on this and finally settle it. So on an academic scholarly level, it is settled. Will the BBT listen? No. I had a meeting with the BBT trustees, or whatever you call them now, directors.
Yeah.
They're not really trustees, the BBTI. And they hadn't even read my book. They hadn't even read I had 10 endorsements from academic Vaishnavas and non-Vaishnavas, endorsements for the annotated edition. They hadn't read it, but they brought Dravida there because he's the only one who understands any kind of grammar. None of them have even an inkling of even what an adverb is. So Dravida was there, who's not a director, and he said, well, I like examples, okay? So, I found in Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita this statement, but then I found in the transcript, it was a different statement, so I swapped them out. He said, is there anything wrong with that? And I immediately said, yes. Yes, there's something wrong with that. He said, what? What could possibly be wrong with that? I said, Dravida, you've never been an author, but I have lots of drafts of my books. And if I had someone, my wife happens to be my best editor, if she went in and changed something because of an earlier draft that I had not known about, I would be livid. So it's about honesty and transparency. This has just not been there. So I've said enough. I don't want to take up all the time. So thank you both. Thanks to all.
Well, we appreciate your understanding of the matter because it is a simple thing. Like even in music, you write a song a particular way, someone comes in and changes the words. It's common sense. You don't change the words of the pure devotee because every word from the spiritual master is Shastra. Yashoda, further comment, please. If you can make a further comment. Thank you.
I'm referring back to the statement that Prabhupada made to a leader when he was asking him, can you please hurry up and translate faster? And Prabhupada told him, you don't understand what this is. These are my devotional ecstasies. When Prabhupada translates a book, this is not just a strict technical translation from Sanskrit to English. This is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, speaking through Srila Prabhupada in that book. It's like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dictating everything to Srila Prabhupada. This is the correct understanding. And if somebody says, well, how do you know? Well, because it's right there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. right there, if you look at Antya-lila, chapter 5, text 71, Prabhupada explains that when the spiritual master speaks, it's to be understood that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is speaking through him. This is the proper understanding when we're reading Prabhupada's books. It's not just a matter of editing a book and endless correctedness. No. Once these books were fit, this is why when Prabhupada found out in 1977, on the 22nd of June, 1977, during the rascal editor's conversation in Vrindavan in his garden, when he found out that some of his books had been re-edited after the original printing, he says, oh, the next printing again, this should be the original way. Was that done? Nope. So that itself was a disobedience of Prabhupada's order. As long as the disobedience remains, everything is contaminated. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Exactly. It's a great tragedy, actually. And I wanted to point out, Garuda, that some people may misunderstood that facts are different than faults. You can say that you're a fault finder, but that's not true. When you present the facts, like in court, they present the point and then they support it with the law. In this discussion, not only do we make the point, but we support it with quotes from Prabhupada on a variety of formats, through his lectures, through his books, through his various instructions, to support what we're saying. So we're not fault finders, we're fact finders. And we stand behind our words, behind the words of our spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And we're going to move to our next section of the program very quickly. We're going to have another lecture from Srila Prabhupada, just a brief one. And then from there, we'll have the reading of the 10 offenses in chanting, and then japa class, various other video presentations in this Wednesday night Chaitanya Charitamrita Journey in Eternal Time. Go ahead.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam. Try to understand what is religion. So God is one. God cannot say somewhere that this is religion and this is not religion. God says, Bhagavan Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, here it is said that Jada Jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati paritranaya, and next verse is said, paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskita dharma samsthapanarthaya cha sambhavami juge juge. The two business Krishna's, because he has already explained, Bhutanam Ishvara, I am the controller of all living entities. Therefore, when there is discrepancies in execution of dharma, then he is to punish and reward. Puritrana sadhuna vinasaya cha duskita. Two things. That's why it is the government's duty to give protection to the law-abiding citizen and to punish the outlaw. These two duties of the government. And the supreme government, Krishna, because where from this idea came, the government rewards the law-abiding person or gives protection, and the not law-abiding, there is also protection, but under punishment. So, Dharma means, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekang saranam vraja. This is dharma. This is dharma. And our dharma, our characteristic is also that. Because every one of us, we have surrendered to somebody. Analyze everyone. He has somebody superior where he has surrendered. It may be his family, his wife, or his government, his community, his society, his political party, anywhere you go, the characteristic is to surrender. That you cannot avoid. That was the talk with Professor Kotovsky in Moscow. I asked him, now you have got your communist philosophy. We have got our Krishna philosophy. Where is the difference in philosophy? You have surrendered to Lenin and we have surrendered to Krishna. Where is the difference? Everyone has to surrender. It doesn't matter where he is surrendering. If the surrendering is correct, then the things are correct. If the surrendering is not correct, then things are not correct. This is the philosophy. So, we are surrendering. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has explained this. Jiver Sarup hoy Nitya Krishna Das. We are surrendering, but we are not surrendering to Krishna. This is the disease. This is the disease. And Krishna consciousness movement means to cure this disease. Cure this disease. Krishna comes also. He says, Jada jada hi dharmasya. The dharmasya glanning, discrepancies in the matter of execution religion, when there is discrepancies, Krishna says, tadatmanam sijamaham and abhuthanam adharmasya. Two things are there. When people does not surrender to Krishna, they manufacture so many Krishna, so many rascals to surrender there. That is adharmasya. Dharma means to surrender to Krishna. But instead of surrendering to Krishna, they want to surrender to cats, dogs, this, that, so many things. That is adharma. Krishna did not come to establish the so-called Hindu religion or Muslim religion or Christian religion. No. He came to establish real religion. Real religion means we have to submit, surrender to the real person. That is real religion. We are surrendering. Everyone has got some ideas. He has surrendered there. Either political, social, economical, religious, anything. Everyone has got some idea. And the leader of that idea is also there. So our business is to surrender. That is a fact. But we do not know where to surrender. That is the difficulty. And because the surrender is mistaken or misplaced, therefore the whole world is chaotic condition. We are changing this surrender to that surrender. No more Congress party. Now Communist party. Again, no more Communist party. This party, that party. So what is the use of changing party? Because this party or that party, they are not surrendered to Krishna. So unless you come to the point of surrendering to Krishna, there cannot be any peace. That is the point. Simply by changing from frying pan to the fire will not save you.
Hare Krishna. So Vishwakarma Prabhu had to leave for the airport. So he said that we can take a few questions if we have time. And whatever questions we don't get to this time, we can do the next class. Mother Shrestha Rupa has 6 questions. I think we might be able to do 3 of them because the first 3 are related. And the first question is, what is the meaning of being fully surrendered?
Okay, I've put a few citations here. Actually, Rupa Goswami nicely answered that question on the chat. Let me just read. He quoted here from Madhya Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 22, text 100. The 6 divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service, the rejection of unfavorable things, the conviction that Krishna will give protection, the acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master, full self-surrender and humility. Then Rupa Goswami Prabhu quoted from Madhya Lila, chapter 23, text 14, 15. And the reason that I am mentioning this is because this is probably the best answer to this particular question. And thank you very much, Rupa Goswami, for mentioning this. This is the classic explanation of the process of devotional service by Rupa Goswami, cited from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sango Ata Bhajana Kriya Tato Anartha Nivriti Syat Tato Nishta Ruchis Tataha Ata Shakti Stabo Tato Bhavas Tata Prema Byudyanchati Sadakana Mayam Premnaha Pradur Bhavi Bhavet Kramaha. Srila Prabhupada translates. Oh, very nice. Let's see further down the translation. In the beginning, there must be faith. Then one becomes interested and associated with pure devotees. Thereafter, one is initiated by the spiritual master and executes the regulative principles under his orders. Thus, one is freed from all unwanted habits and becomes firmly fixed in devotional service. Thereafter, one develops taste and attachment. This is the way of sadhana bhakti, the execution of devotional service, according to the regulative principles. Gradually, emotions intensify, and finally, there is an awakening of love. This is the gradual development of love of Godhead for the devotee interested in Krishna consciousness. Now, this is a very important point because we see, like Prabhupada, the way he structured his whole society was to enable people to take up the surrendering process gradually. In other words, Prabhupada, the entire process that he set up for his society and his students and for everybody else is the perfect exemplification of that verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now, as far as what that means, practically speaking, first of all, the important point is trying to chant. It's a step-by-step process as described by Rupa Goswami and Srila Prabhupada. And what they are is in that verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita. How can we self-check if we have surrendered? Well, we can check if we're engaged, if we chant, if we follow the process, we will feel the effect. It's just like Prabhupada gives the example that the process of bhakti is like eating. If you eat, nobody has to give you a certificate when you're full and satisfied. You're going to know. You're going to feel the effect of the influence of material nature would lessen. The effects of unending material desires will diminish. It will vanish gradually. So this is the process. And then the next point, can one fall back and forth in being surrendered? Where in the beginning, a devotee may experience some shortcuts and short difficulties, but this is where the process of chanting comes in. A person has to regularly and continuously chant. The last time I was in Oroville with Bhakta Ram Singh, I call him Bhakta Ram Singh, we had very interesting because in the morning he has this beautiful deity of Srila Prabhupada in his temple room, and he sits there and he chants. Now I was chanting in the next room, and I gradually came over in the room because I felt his chanting was very, very clear and very, very surrendered. That's the impression I felt. So the process of bhakti, even though there may be so many difficulties, social difficulties, personal difficulties, difficulties with health, difficulties with family, difficulties with traffic, so many problems. If we focus on chanting Hare Krishna and hearing from the pure devotee, these devotees will vanish. And this is a fact. People will experience this. I just want to mention one point. In the Hari Bhakti Vilas, there is a session called Nam Mahatmya, the glories of chanting the name of Hari. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they quote a verse from the Padma Purana explaining that even though one in the beginning of chanting may have difficulty following the process and falling apart, if the example is given, Bhumos kalitapadanam bhumereva alambanam, that just like when you try to go up a slippery staircase, a person may have difficulty and may slip, but by trying again and again, eventually one will get to the top. So the same way, by chanting regularly, by devoting ourselves to Prabhupada's instructions, by reading his books, by distributing his books, gradually one will become purified and experience just like the experience we have when we finish eating. So that is the method, by proper chanting and proper hearing. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Go
you
ahead,
for that.
Ram Raghava.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I think the next part of the program is to read the 10 offenses, so I'll go to that now.
Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 8, Offenses to be Avoided. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Sometimes the atheistic class of men take it that any demigod is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. But one who is a devotee knows that no demigod, however great he may be, is independently as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, if someone thinks that he can chant Kali, Kali or Durga, Durga, and it is the same as Hare Krishna, that is the greatest offense. Third, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Sixth, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from all kinds of sinful reactions. It should not be taken that one may continue to act sinfully and after that chant Hare Krishna to neutralize his sins. Such a dangerous mentality is very offensive and should be avoided. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities. Karma Kanda. 9th, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Anyone can take part in chanting the holy name of the Lord, but in the beginning one should not be instructed about the transcendental potency of the Lord. Those who are too sinful cannot appreciate the transcendental glories of the Lord, and therefore it is better not to instruct them in this matter. 10th, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names, and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Krishna.
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Krishna.
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Krishna.
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
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 Hare,
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Krishna,
Rama
Ram
Krishna.
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Krishna.
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chant and be happy.
Let us offer our respectful obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnava devotees. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances. We all offer respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and who are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Thanks, everybody, for participating in this lively reading and discussion. Ram Raghava Prabhu in Georgia, Rashikeshwari Mataji and her good husband Viprahita Prabhu, the parents of Ram Raghava, Rochisa Mataji in dans la belle province de Quebec, and our good friend Vishwakarma Prabhu, who is left for the airport, Bhakta Ram Singh in Oroville, California. Wish you a swift recovery, Prabhu. Michael Dillon in Yuba City, California. Radharani in Texas. Vladimir Prabhu in Poland, or wherever you are. Bhakta Roy in Mississippi. Sri Rupa Mataji in South India. Rupa Goswami in Bombay. Krishna Kata in San Diego. And everybody else who participated in the program, thank you for your participation. And we invite you to join us again on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, corresponding to 10 a.m. Eastern Board Time, for reading on the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Back to you in the studio. Hare Krishna.
I'm listening. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,